Hi, this is Nick George with MacLeod's Diamond Sharpening with ML Masters. This is a fade master. It just means it comes with a fade blade. Same clipper. You can put any blade on it, any ML blade. Okay, so since the blade's off, I can't really test it. Not yet. But I noticed this is super loose. Okay, now when this vibrates and this is super loose, you're gonna lose adjustment. So I always tighten these. You just tighten one screw until it's a little bit tighter, and you tighten another screw, and then another screw. Just keep going around tightening them until you like the right pressure. And I recommend it being pretty tight, because you don't want to lose your adjustment while you're shaving someone's head. Won't look good, but that's a little bit tight. It's the way I like it. Some people don't like it that tight, but if you don't like it that tight, just go ahead and take your blade off and loosen those up. But I would not recommend it, once again. Alright, so that may be a little tight. Just a little bit. There we go. See, that's probably about 3-4 pounds of pressure. Okay, and I do have the blade. I sharpened it, so it's nice, clean. Okay, now if your clipper isn't running at full speed and you send it in to me, the first thing I'm going to do is sharpen it, because that's the first thing that needs to be adjusted. This has to be clean. If there's any corrosion on it, just go ahead and keep using the clipper as it's working, because doing a service is going to waste your money, and I won't do it. I'll sharpen the blade, because I already know that with corrosion on the blade, you can't adjust a clipper. Alright, well, let's get to work. We might as well just go ahead and put the blade on. What I do first is I always separate these just a little bit. Just turn in the screwdriver. So the cutter sits on there nice and snug. You don't want it to keep popping off. That's not good. So then you pop one side on, pop the other side on. Then you take this, put this on top, put your happy little blade screws. They're so happy to hold a blade on. That's their only job, and they love it. Okay, so that's probably not aligned. That's fine. Loosen it up a little. What I do is I bring it all the way up, and then I take this all the way down as far as it can go. And that means it's going to be the highest setting. You want it to go to that. So see, this doesn't go all the way to the end of the teeth, because this isn't a fade blade. It's just a regular blade, so it's not going to go all the way to the tips of the teeth. If you want the tips of the teeth, you need a fade blade, because they go completely to the tips. Okay, so that's straight as far up as it can go. Goes down, and when it goes down, you don't want it to go off the whole. See how it's still in the slots? That means it could still cut hair. If it's all the way down and there's no spaces in between, then you're gonna have to adjust this arm in here. So this has been dropped. It's very weak. Sounds sort of bad. First thing I'm going to do is bring it in all the way, and then bring it out. Then I bring it in a little bit. Still very weak. So this is going to have to be serviced. Okay, so let's just go on and take it apart. If you ever replace a switch, you might as well know there's an insulator underneath there. Without it, you're going to get shocked. So make sure that's in there if you replace the switch. Okay, so let's just go ahead and explain everything. This is the fork. If this doesn't move after adjusting this, then you need to move this back. This is the tension. This is how the arm goes down onto the blade. So obviously we have weak power so we already know we're gonna have to loosen this. Okay? This screw, right here, it's just a shaft, and if it's bent or warped, this won't move correctly. So sometimes you have to loosen these and then hit it back in, so it straightens the post back into the housing. But this one shouldn't need that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen it. It didn't make a difference. It didn't do anything. Even though I loosened it, it didn't do anything. So I'm gonna stick my flathead screwdriver underneath this fork and pry it up a little bit. See, now it has more power. Okay? And if they drop them, you always look right down in there to make sure this field is all the way on this. If it's not, no matter what you do, it's not gonna work, no matter what. So this one's on there, so that's good. I can go ahead and loosen this a little until it starts making nasty noise. And it's still loose. I mean, I could still loosen it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen it because I want it. See, okay, right there. That's what I want. Now I tighten this until the noise disappears. That's 100 maximum pressure, 100%. The blade's traveling to each side, that's good. You might want to tighten it just a little bit because you don't want it to get in the hair and make that noise. It'll scare your customer. So I'm going to tighten it just a hair. Then I'm going to move this in a little bit. See? Ta-da! It's like magic. Okay, I'm gonna get a piece of string to make sure my blade cuts. Hopefully it does, or it's gonna be super embarrassing again. Actually, I've never not had one cut yet, so I haven't been embarrassed. Okay, see how it has some hesitation in the middle? Might be just a little too loose. Okay, that sounds good. Feels good. Let me get my test string. It should cut all the way across. Wow. Just spits that string out. It's amazing. Okay, well, that's your first ML repair. This, I forgot to tell you what this is. This, when it goes in, is the more hard it's going to go left to right. So in my experience, this is always better to be tightened because it actually puts more power into it. I don't know why they loosen it. I have no idea. So I don't tighten it all the way because you want some play in the spring, or then it ain't gonna move very good. Make sure it still cuts. It's nice and straight, nice and can't stop it very easy. Very good, all the way across. Now if it don't cut on the sides and it cuts in the middle, it's probably because your tension is too tight and your blade is dull. Now if it don't cut in the middle but cuts on the side, that means your tension is too tight. If you tighten the tension down so much the blade don't move, that means the sharpener messed up. And he pushed too hard when he was sharpening this, so that's why it's not cutting in the middle, because he ground it out by pushing in the middle of the blade too much. It happens. Alright, so you back this all the way off. Turn it in a little more and stop. That'll be your maximum travel. Alright, thank you for this wonderful adventure into the ML world. Yeah.